Welcome to another edition of the Go Noles podcast. I am your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. It's a bye week for the Noles. I think before you can move on to Louisville, I think you have to acknowledge some things from the LSU game. First and foremost, we won the game. So I'm ecstatic about that. Mike Noles made some bad decisions in this game. He had this team ready to play. I think through the first two games, this team has played with the traditional Florida State effort. If I had to grade this team through the first two games, I would give the offense a B+. I would give the defense a A-, and I would give special teams a C+, and then I would give coaching probably a C, a solid C. And you just watch the two games and you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't really want to go too far in depth on why I gave them those grades. I'm happy that the team is 2-0. I don't want to sound like one of these just crazy fans that are just not happy whether we win or lose. But even when you're winning, you have to look at some mistakes that were made. I just think that when you're in a situation where you're up, and you're up by 7 or more, and you're in a position to add on to that score, and it's 4th and inches, just kick the field goal. Just from my time of watching football, it's going to be hard for most teams to score twice to win a game with less than 3 minutes left in a game. And just some of the play calling. Some of the play calling was not, it didn't fit the situations. I mean, the tying score or potential tying score by LSU, you're playing zone coverage. I didn't agree with that. I think that anytime that you're in that situation, you play man to man. Because the receiver went right by Omari and Cooper, and I guess he was trying to funnel the receiver to the safety, and the safety just wasn't there. Now, I could be wrong on that coverage, but that looked like a zone concept to me. I could be wrong. I'm not some kind of football analyst or guru, but it looked like zone coverage on that potential game-tying touchdown potential game-tying touchdown by LSU. So you have to correct those mistakes. Like I said in the last episode, Malik Cunningham is probably licking his chops waiting to scramble against his defense. So you're going to have to shore that up, because he's one of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the conference, if not the whole country. So, that's really it for LSU. I mean, as far as Louisville, they've been a house of horrors for us for the last couple years. I think we've probably split games with them. Last year, they whooped us pretty good, 48-16 or something like that. We got to come out and punch these guys in the mouth, man. I mean, from the opening kick, we got to just come out and punch these guys in the mouth. You got to corral Malik Cunningham, and the DB is going to have to play exceptional, because the last couple of games, Louisville receivers have made our DBs look very average. And I think on the defensive line and that linebacker, we're playing at a high level. The DBs have to rise to the occasion. Offensively, I think you're doing some creative stuff. I would like to see you incorporate Cam McDonald a little bit more. because I think he can really be a threat. Pokey Wilson, like I said in the last episode, best receiver on the team. Would like to see Micah Pittman more in a Deebo Samuel type role. Span is just, I mean, he's a frisbee catching dog, man. He's just got speed to spare. Johnny Wilson, big body, red zone, jump ball type receiver. He obviously got some wheels because he caught that bomb. He's got some nice hands. I think, and we haven't even mentioned Portier or Malik McClain. I mean, you got a nice receiving group. It's gonna be hard to get all those guys on the field, but I think you can do it. We haven't seen really anything from Malik McClain. I thought he was going to be a starter coming into this season. So I want them to use him a little bit more. Portier is obviously a deep threat. He showed out in the Duquesne game. I think he can be an asset for you. Offensive line has played pretty good. Bless Harris is out. Next man up. I wouldn't mind seeing Armella out there at whatever position, or some of these younger guys or whoever. So, that's really, you have to maintain the intensity, the focus, and whatever you did for these first two games to get this team to lock in and play with that traditional Florida State effort. That's what we need to do. I think Florida State can win every game on this schedule. I don't look at any team through the first two games. Now, through the first two games, I'm saying that they can beat anybody on this schedule if they maintain the effort. Obviously, our kicking game has to improve. Obviously, our DBs have to improve. And just in all areas, we have to improve, but especially kicking game and DBs. We need better play from the DBs, and we need better kicking from Fitzgerald. And I think winning 9-10 games is not out of the realm of possibility. I think Clemson is a kind of a mysterious game just because if they stick with DJ Uiagalelei, I think we can beat them. If they switch to that dude Klubnik, whatever his name is, he looks like the second coming of Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? The offense just looked in the Georgia Tech game. It just looked so much more crisp. So, and Florida doesn't impress me at all. They still got players. They're like LSU. They got players, but can their coach make them rise to the occasion? So we'll see. I'm not going to sit here and hate on the Gators. They beat a very impressive Utah team, a close game, and kudos to them. I don't know what Miami is going to be. You can't really judge them on Bethune-Cookman. I think you have to judge them on the Texas A&M game to see where they are. I think they play Texas A&M next week. So we're going to find out if Miami is the real deal. And I think every game outside of Clemson in the ACC, we can win. If Norvell can keep these guys motivated and keep them playing with the same effort and intensity that they've been playing with through the first two games. A little bit more on Mike Norvell. You get paid to coach this team. And when you coach a team at this level, you can't make bad decisions. You don't get paid to make bad decisions. You didn't get this position because you make bad decisions. So just in my eyes, a coach has to be right I'm going to say 10 out of 10 times, but I know that's not realistic. So I'll just say 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times in a game, you have to make the right decision. Whether it be timeouts, whether it be situational football, whether it kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. Now, I'll say this about the touchdown play that was a fumble, the toss. If it would have worked, everybody would have been singing your praises. There's no doubt about that. Oh, that was a great call. It worked to perfection, blah, 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 but it didn't work. And when it doesn't work, you have to live with the fallout. It was a bad decision. And that's really what it comes down to. Kick the field goal, take the points, make LSU score twice, make them burn all their timeouts, blah, blah, blah. So Satterfield for Louisville, Coach Satterfield is a good coach. His offense is kind of unique with the type of stuff that he likes to run. So it's going to be an uphill battle. But I think we have more talent than those guys, and I think we can win. I think we can win 28-17, 31-17. I think we can. I think that's realistic. We have better. I watched the Syracuse game. Syracuse dominated them. And we have better line talent than Syracuse and Louisville. Now, I know that doesn't translate to game, but I just feel like, we're a better team than Louisville. So it's just a matter of the mental. If Mike Norvell can keep the mental of this team in a great place, every game on this schedule can be won. It really can. Jordan Travis has taken that. I don't want to say quantum leap, but he has taken a gigantic leap forward as a quarterback. I've seen happy feet through the first 2 games, but not like it was last season. He's actually standing in the pocket a little bit longer and, trying to find the open guy. So that's progress. And his accuracy has improved tremendously. His decision making has improved tremendously. He has grown as a quarterback. With the exception of the fumble by Trayshawn Ward, he's played pretty well. The running game has been great. Offensive line pretty much, I'm not going to say dominated that game, but they pretty much could do whatever they want. Same thing with the defensive line. So that's the kind of play we need going forward. If you've watched any of the Louisville game against UCF, you see the challenges that Malik Cunningham present. Not to mention that they have a very physical running back. And I think his last name is Evans. And they got a nice team, man. So I'm just saying, they beat us 48-16 last season, and they returned most of those guys. So this is not going to be some kind of walk in the park for us. And you got guys on the internet talking about we the best at this, we the best at that. You're only 2-0, guys. You ain't won a national championship. You ain't beat Alabama. You ain't beat Georgia. Okay, you beat LSU. You beat a down LSU team. Okay, like I said, they can't make any excuses because they got all those top 5 recruiting classes. But still, this isn't 2020 LSU that you beat. So, some humble pie would go a long way, in my opinion, for this football team. And that's on Mike Norvell to keep things in perspective for this football team. You ain't done nothing. You've won 2 games. Whoop-de-doo. Go win another one. Then go win another one. Then go win another one. Right? And just keep winning. And keep your mouth shut and play football. All the bragging and All this bulletin board material that you're giving other teams, man, come on. At some point, you're going to start getting the best shot from these teams. And I seen the percentages for, us beating teams on the rest of the schedule. That don't mean nothing. You don't know what team is going to show up on a given day. I don't know what Florida State team is going to show up. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, this team is going to, have a letdown at some point. I hope they don't. I hope they keep playing with the edge that they playing with. But, history says with this coach that he can't keep his team motivated for 12 games. That's what history has said his first 2 years as head coach. He can't keep his team motivated. We'll see. I hope he can. I want him to be successful. I don't want another head coach. Okay? It's it's nothing personal. I'm a fan of the team, and I just want the team to play well. It really doesn't matter to me who the head coach is. Okay? I just want those guys to go play and win. That's it. But Louisville is no pushover. I really don't understand how Syracuse was able to just, dominate that game, but they did. So it's going to be really interesting to see this game next Friday night. Just how we're going to, attack these guys. They're saying we're going to wear the all white. I'm not a fan of the all white. Never have been, but hey, it is what it is. We got to rock what we got to rock. So, hopefully these boys come to play, man, and, they can just continue to win in ways. I thought the game was at Louisville last season. I can't really remember. But at any rate, it really doesn't matter where the game was. We got destroyed. So, if you're gonna go out there, if you're not gonna play for anything else, play to get your face back from the last season. This ain't the time to be bragging. Brag when the season over with. Say we the best at this or the best at that when all 12 games have been played. While you still got games to be played, man, just relax with the bragging stuff and just go out here and dominate. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, Louisville, Malik Cunningham, he licking his chops. He running all over this UCF defense. And he seen what Jaden Daniels did last Sunday before last. He licking his chops. Dynamic playmaker. I think when you see him out there, he kind of reminds you a little more Lamar Jackson by his mannerisms. Not as he doesn't have Lamar Jackson's ability, but, just the mannerisms. So, I liked what Syracuse did with the 3-3-5, making him hold on to the ball. But I think you got to spy him. You got to spy him. I don't really think that you can afford to just sit back and play zone and not spy this guy. So I don't know who can run with him. I'm hoping we got somebody that can spy him and run with him, but that has to be a top priority. You want him to pass the football. You don't want him to start running the football. Because in this UCF game, he had over 100 yards rushing. So you definitely don't want him to start doing that. So hopefully Mike Norvell will have these guys ready to play, man. I've never been a big fan of the all-white uniforms. I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to uniforms. I don't like a whole bunch of multicolor uniform combinations, but I know that's like a recruits, young guys type thing now to get recruits to come in. How many different kinds of uniforms that you have? I just think the all white uniforms are bad luck. We've never really played well in those. I know there's been a few games here and there, but from what I've seen on the internet, that's what we're wearing next Friday or this coming Friday. And I mean, it is what it is. I just want the team to come out and play with a level of focus that is greater than we've had in the first two games, because, I mean, we left points out on the field. We left plays out on the field. And I just think that, ultimately that's going to catch up with you. Louisville is a very good team. They're very well coached. And UCF came out and played them tough. UCF is a very good team. To beat Louisville, we have to take our game to the next level. And every game forward, we have to get better. You can't come out and expect the same results with the same effort. That's just not how football works. The more you win, the harder opponent's going to come at you. And, I just hope that Mike Norvell can get these guys refocused after a humongous win, emotional win over LSU. And, you got 9-10 days to do that. And, that's his job. You can't start reading your press clippings after 2 games, one of which you got lucky and won. Shout out to Kalen LeBourne, big game against Notre Dame. Kudos for him. I'm glad he resurrected his career. Jalen Ramsey, I mean, still my dog, still my favorite player. But I said this last season, I just felt like he got paid and then the work ethic just ain't there no more. It's just he lacks focus now. I mean, he's getting beat on the most simplest of plays. I mean, Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville doesn't get beat like that. When Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville was hungry to be the best, he wasn't getting beat on that type of stuff. So, I hope he can rebound after. I mean, Stephon Diggs put you to sleep, man. Let's just call it what it is. And that's why I say that trash talking stuff, that's going to catch up with you. Teams going to come for you when you talk trash. Something that really irks me about college football is when your rivals lose, and I'm really talking about Florida State, our rivals, Miami, Florida, Clemson. When they lose, we tend to celebrate. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I think I'm going to just say me. I don't focus on what the rivals do. I only focus on them when my favorite team is playing them. I don't care what they do up until we play them. And I will admit, it's nice to see them lose. I get a little chuckle inside when they lose. I even get a little chuckle when Jimbo loses. But I don't sit here and I think about it for maybe a second, then I'm just, okay, well, how can my boys win? How can I, be a fan and just hope that my guys win? That's what I'm focused on. So I don't see how that helps your team. And again, I'm not excluding myself because I internally participate in it too. But, you have people that go on social media and just try to turn this into a whole genre, different section of being a fan. But, I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong, but I just feel like as a fan, you should focus on your team and not another team. And I'm not trying to tell fans how to be as fans. That's just my opinion. So, we got Louisville coming up. It's going to be a very hard-fought game. I feel like Louisville has a very good team. They're physical on both sides of the ball. They've got skilled players everywhere. They got a very nice team. So I'm glad they won last Friday night. I'm glad they won. You never want to be a team's must-win game. Every game is a must-win game, but when they potentially could have been 0-2 playing us, and they would have came out and played. They go hard against Florida State anyway. For whatever reason, every time we play Louisville, we get their best game. But I think if they were 0-2, it probably would have been times a million. Obviously a great scrambling quarterback, obviously a physical offensive line with a very good running back, Evans. It's gonna be a hard-fought game. But like I said earlier in the podcast, every game you got to take your game to another level. What you did against Duquesne wasn't going to work against LSU. What you did against LSU ain't going to work against Louisville. So you have to adapt and get stronger. Adapt and get stronger. I seen something on the internet where Akeem Dent, and I love this, what he said. He said, we didn't come here just to be 2-0. We want it all. Paraphrasing. It's not the exact quote, but you get what I'm saying. I like that attitude. I hope the whole team has that mindset that, being 2-0 is a great start, but it's not good enough. They want to win the whole thing. So, hey, me personally, I don't think that's going to happen this year, but hey, you never know. Nobody on our schedule looks unbeatable. And at the same time, we don't look unbeatable. Right? We got some things that we can tighten up on and get better. So like I said, I just hate that they're wearing the all white uniforms. I don't like it. I mean, the only all color I like is the all garnet. That's the only thing and I don't like them wearing all garnet. Should be special. Okay? This should be that. It's not something that you should just wear when we suck. Like, you wear the all garnet in big games when we're playing for potentially a ACC championship or a national championship. That's just my opinion. All garnet means a lot to me as a Florida State fan. That's not just something that we should just pull out when we're playing like Tomato Tech University. So, I'm hoping Norvell can make better decisions in the game. I hope that our defense doesn't get gassed at the end of the game, because I don't know what the defensive coordinator was doing at the end of the game, but when LSU, I promise you, Louisville is coming out running every play that LSU ran on that last drive. They would be a fool not to. So, just hopefully our defensive coordinator can get us ready for what's coming, because Louisville has the mindset, and I promise you, they feel like they should be undefeated. That's the mindset that they probably operating with, and they saying we put 48 on Florida State last year, and this is large in part the same team. Different offensive line, but we feel like we're going to dominate those guys. They probably not going to outwardly say it, but I promise you they probably feel that way. So we going tune in and see what happens. As usual, thank you for all the people that listen. The podcast is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. I appreciate the support. And as always, go Noles.